All right. We are coming through, and it is show stopping time. It is the night on Spicy Night here with the Spicy Season Sisters. Welcome, everybody.
Yes, yes, yes. So excited and ignited. I'm Renette Upson Bush, aka the Next Level Chick.
And I'm your girl Farah, number one Grace girl.
I'm Latoya, your CEO partner.
Oh, Tammy, you still on mute. Say that. Introduce yourself again, Tammy.
I love it.
Hello, everybody.
And I am Coach Gail Benson, your favorite certified cognitive behavior coach.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So we're excited.
All in the room.
What is that noise, Lord? Okay, so we're excited and united together here as the Spicy Season Sisters, and tonight we want to bring to you a special topic. And I know it's a little hard because we are laying the stigma to rest. What stigma are we talking about? We are talking about the mood swings and the crazy things of menopause. Okay, now let us make this disclaimer right here. As I make this disclaimer, I just want to say that we are not doctors, but we want to talk about some menopausal experiences that we have gone through. Menopause can be a sensitive topic for many women. It is the end of our reproductive years. This can be very difficult and very emotional. And so we want to kind of take light of it tonight, but also bring you some great information and some great examples. These stigmas, okay, can have prevented us as women from moving forward to get the support that we need and we deserve. And if you did not know, these menopausal experiences can last for up to 20 years. You hear me? 20 years. So that's 20 years of no help when you just keep it to yourself. And we want to blow the whistle tonight to talk about it. You're not the only one. You're not by yourself, baby. That's why we laying this thing to rest.
Laying it to rest. Laying it to rest.
Laying it to rest. Menopause was not talked about many times by Black women. But tonight, us, Spicy Season Sisters, Black women, we're gonna lay it down, Suzette. We're gonna lay it down. So here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, just like you were saying, Renette, it's about the end of the women's reproductive. It can start between the age of 45 and 55, but it can be earlier or later in years. All of us are going to share tonight some of the different things that we've gone through in menopause, because all of our stories are completely different, but some the same. And so, but we want to live, like last week we talked about living out loud. And don't let menopause stop you from living out loud. A lot of women are being shut down from menopause, whether it be through so many different ways, emotional and so many different things. But we want you to continue to live out loud and understand that menopause is not your end all be all.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Not the end all be all.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And so one of the things that as a child and even as a younger adult, when people kept saying the change, I didn't know what it was. And then the commercials and advertisements showed Black women. So how did we know that was supposed to affect us? We need to talk about menopause. We need to put it out there. And so that's what we're doing. We are women that are 40 plus, and we want to share with you all, because it's not time for us to stop. It's time to go. And so we're not going to let menopause and anything else, the mood swings, okay, and the crazy things that we'll be talking about tonight, that's not going to stop us. Okay? It's spicy season. We are walking in our boldness. We are walking, and living out loud, like Farrah said, doing our thing. So tonight, as we talk about menopause, if y'all have questions, that we could possibly answer, we are happy to do that. Y'all put in the comments some funny stuff or examples, that's fine. Because a lot of times when we're going through stuff, we think it's only us, but I promise you it's not only you. Okay?
Right.
Hey, hold on 1 second, Renette. Hold on 1 second. I'm having a hot flash.
You having a hot flash, child. And I'm trying to figure out, where's my phone? Where is my phone? Oh my God, where's my phone? Dog, I can't find it nowhere. Ooh. Do y'all do that sometimes?
Listen, yes, all the time.
All the time.
It's called the brain fog. When we have brain
yes.
fog and we can't
Yes.
find anything, we're headed somewhere, and we forget where we're headed to, and we have to stop and think and rethink. It's just sad. It is.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And Tammy, I can relate to that because I've always prided myself in having a good memory, but this brain fog is not playing with me.
I'm telling
It's
you,
not
listen,
fair
that brain fog is no joke. It can be your arch nemesis because Mennie will come by and slap you in the face mid-sentence. You don't know. You can't grab it. That heifer come slap you and she take off like a 440 running track star. You can't grab that thought back to save your life. And that's when I say I've been saying for the past 3 years, Mennie has been munching on my memory because I cannot remember anything as much as telling people, hold on, let me find my glasses. I can't find my glasses. And guess where the glasses at? On my face. On my face. And you know you can't see this good talking about you looking for your glasses, baby.
Right. Look, at least when I ask the question, mine be on top of my head or there's stuff, on my shirt. And I'm frantic. One day I was looking for my glasses and I just happened to pass by a mirror and saw in my reflection that they were hanging on my shirt.
Listen. Baby.
Oh my gosh. That is hilarious.
It's definitely real. It's definitely real in our families. Our families who are not going through it, our husbands or companions or our children who don't understand and not feeling what we feel, they're kind of looking at you like, what's wrong with you? So you try to explain it to them. You try to explain it, but it's something to be had. But there are treatments, there are herbs, there are doctors, vitamins, so forth that can help you out when you're going through this. So, it's a good thing to look into. I would get doctor's advice before I, take any supplements. But menopause is something that is serious and it can affect the people around you. And
keep it.
Say what?
She said, keep it, Jesus.
Keep it.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Lord, keep it, Jesus.
Listen, I'm reading up on with menopause, ladies, was and for some of you all who are watching tonight, some of the physical symptoms that we go to, we just talked about it, hot flashes. This is one that a lot of women don't talk about, is sleep disturbances. So we end up getting hooked on caffeine because we're not sleeping at night. We're up, there's insomnia, weight changes.
Yes.
Weight changes is it can be another big part of having menopause. Bone health is very, and so Tammy was just mentioning going to your doctor, and that's the importance of it, right? Checking to make sure that your bone health, your heart health, this is all correlated with menopause and checking into yourself.
It does. It does. Farrah, you're right, Farrah. And just for information here, have your testosterone and your estrogen levels checked. Okay, that's very important. Okay, now they do have the pellets. Women are now they get the pellets. It's called hormone. What is it? It's a menopause moment. Hormone.
What?
Leave alone, Mennie. Leave alone, Mennie. Leave alone.
HRT, hormone replacement therapy.
Right? Hormone replacement. But you have to go to a doctor, and the doctor, they'll do the blood work, and they'll tell you where you're, where you're low, where you're high, and they try to kind of balance you out. because those sweat bullets can be a bit much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
And, you
remember
know,
years
like,
ago, a friend of mine was having hot flashes, and I asked her, "What does it feel like?" And she said, "Sarah, it felt like somebody with an iron, like with the steam coming out, coming close to your body." And I
Yes.
could never understand that. And just from my own experience, I haven't experienced a lot of this stuff. But one of the main things, how I knew I was in menopause, is I was sleepy. I remember it was one weekend I was out of town, and I slept the whole weekend. I never napped,
Yeah.
and I was sleeping
Mhm.
like the whole day. And then the hot flashes started.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
I went to a health food store to try and get help
Mhm.
for it. And I ended up getting like a herbal cream to help. And then with diet and exercise, those things help as well.
Yeah. Your
Yeah, and
vitamin D levels are important in this as well. So have those checked.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because we don't really hear about some of the other conditions that we are more prone to as we're going through menopause, things like osteoporosis. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to talk about the disrespectful bladder,
Right.
the
Yeah.
incontinence, the urinary
Disrespectful.
incontinence,
It's so
having
disrespectful.
the headaches. And one of the things
Oh
that
no,
is
you
just
all didn't.
this hard. There you
Disrespectful.
exactly.
Pee pad.
But don't be ashamed to get them PP pads. Them tender
No.
pads will save your life. Carry
You
you an
think you're
extra
through with
pair of
them, but they
pants.
come back. They
Listen,
come back.
okay? Don't be ashamed. They have so many things out here for us. The tender
Listen,
pads. Carry you an extra pair of panties because, baby, I done threw plenty of pair of drawers in the trash and had my replacement pair. But what I really want to say in all seriousness, because I know how it went
Yeah.
down for me, because when
Right.
these things are happening, you really don't have the words to put together what's happening to you. You've
Right.
never been here before, so you don't quite know how to explain it. And then once you
Explain.
do kind of put those words together, who are you going to talk to? If you're married and you have a spouse or a partner, they don't quite understand what you're telling them. A lot of people put menopause just as on the back burner, like you just being mean, you looking for an
yeah.
excuse to argue and things like that. And it's for lack of knowledge. It's for
Right.
lack of conversations like these. So when you get to that point where you just don't quite know what is happening, go to your provider. Talk about it during your annual visits with your gynecologist. Talk to your provider. Take your partner with you, because we don't want you to have to be there depending on you to bring back the information. Take
Yeah.
them with you. Take your
Yes.
partner with you to help
Yeah.
them understand and get equipped with the tools as well, so they know how to support you during this time. Because for me, my brick wall was when I had a full-blown breakdown in Home Depot.
Mm.
And at the time, my husband had to just take me. He was like, "Go get in the car. Just let me take you to the car." And he had
Right.
to put me in the car, and I sat in the car and cried because I
Wow.
did not know why I was so just
Right.
overwhelmed in everything in that store. With everything was loud, every clink
Right.
clank, a child was crying, the lady wasn't tending to her baby. I done cussed the lady out and told her, "You just gonna stand there and let the baby cry? You think that's cute?" I'm going off at Home
No.
Depot. Off.
Wow. Wow.
And it was
Oh
like
Lord.
he had to get me out of there. So when
Wow.
you can't find the words, talk to a provider. Find someone, a health coach, someone that can point you in a direction of somebody that
Right.
can get you the support and the tools you need to get you through it, whether it's medicine, hormone therapy, something. Because you need, I don't care what people say, because they say, "Oh, you got to pray about it." Listen, Jesus ain't never had menopause. He walked the earth as a man.
Correct.
Jesus ain't
Listen.
have menopause. You understand?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you could
Yeah.
pray about it, but you better make your way to get some help, because you cannot and you should not
Yeah.
do this alone. And I'm gonna tell you another
Absolutely.
thing. Don't be you gain a few extra pounds, child, because you're gonna get hungry
Yeah.
and you're gonna be snacking. Just I don't know what to tell you.
It happens, and this is the thing. You don't know why you up at 2 and 3 in the morning eating and snacking, but
Yeah.
this is because you already can't sleep. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. That's why we're discussing it, because it needs to be discussed more. And
Yeah.
as Gail just said, and Tammy was saying about trying to explain it, really we can't explain it because we don't even know ourselves. You know,
Right.
I really didn't think. I thought I was Miss Menopause free because I had a hysterectomy at 36. So actually, I have never had hot flashes, and I thought I was doing pretty good. And then until I lost my mind, and I just got so mean and irritable, and just my husband was like, "You think you just know every damn thing? What is going on with you?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Ain't nothing about me changed." And I'm looking at them and they talking about you don't never know which way you coming from. I mean, is you Renette or you Riri who got the PP? Who you it's really, really crazy.
Yeah. You know what, Renette? In that vein, let's talk about impact on relationships. So that's one of them. Communication challenges. Mood swings and irritability may cause misunderstandings.
Right.
Definitely.
Changes in intimacy, of course, is one of those.
Right.
It also can impact you socially. If you're somebody who's staying in the house or you're around people and they're like, okay, I can't be around her. And it could be the menopause, right?
Yeah.
So those are things to think about because it can place an emotional strain, increased sensitivity or irritability that may lead to conflict. So like Gail said, having to go to the car because there was being in Home Depot at that moment, like those are the sounds she's heard before. What's so different now, right? Menopause is different now.
Right.
So Riri, what was you saying, Riri?
What Riri said is Riri have to pee. Sometimes you can't hold it.
Listen.
You have that urgency. You got to get to the bathroom.
Yeah.
What I'm going to tell you now, as you get older, your bladder does too. You better go on and just go on ahead and pee about every hour. Okay?
Don't sneeze or laugh.
Baby.
Don't make me laugh.
Don't make me laugh.
Listen, all them years y'all was all them years y'all was holding y'all pee when you was at the club back in the day. When you was holding your pee, baby, them days coming back at you. That bladder whooping your tail for all them times you made her wait. She is paying you back.
Baby, she coming back with vengeance.
She will let loose on you, and you will have a cleanup on aisle 2 in the blink of an eye.
Nothing about it.
She don't care. Because this whole thing right here disrespectful.
And you're trying to hold it and you're crossing your legs. And my
that
son
don't work.
told me the other day, he was like, why every time you sneeze, it sounds like you cranking up a car? I'm trying not to pee on myself.
I'm about to go now.
Right. See, listen. We're gonna have to excuse Gail. Going back to what you were saying earlier, Renette, where people talked about the change, but didn't actually talk about or educate or explain what the change was, right? And I didn't know anything about menopause or the change or what that was. It just wasn't something that was discussed in my family. But for me, I was pushed into early menopause due to fibroids. And I suffered for many years with fibroids. And the first thing that they wanted to do was a hysterectomy. And I was like, well, wait a minute now. Let's not let that be the first option. Let's talk about, what we can do in the interim. But I suffered for many years, and like Farrah, you were saying, it can impact you socially because with the fibroids, my menstrual cycles were heavy. I didn't want to leave the house. I was tired all the time. And it was a hot mess. And what I eventually did back in 2020 is I had the fibroid embolization procedure. And it was the best thing ever. And the only thing that I regretted was that I didn't do it sooner. And instead of my healthcare team at the time, as opposed to just educating me on what some of the alternatives were, some of the natural remedies were, they were going straight to, let's do a hysterectomy. Let's do a hysterectomy. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. So I didn't do that, but I did have that procedure and it helped. It helped a lot. I did have my hormones checked, and that's when we knew that they were out of whack. So I worked with my healthcare team to get my hormones back in place. As I continue to go through the process, some of the things that I suffer from now is the night sweats. I have had hot flashes. I consider myself premenopausal. I have had hot flashes. I mean, one time I was standing in the kitchen talking to my youngest son, And we just having a conversation, and I just bust out in a sweat, and he looking at me like, "What is going on?" Him for the most part, right? And he was like, "What is going on?" And I just had sweat just coming down, just all of a sudden. And you know, and it's coming from inside. So when they say, "What does it feel like?" It's hard to explain, but it's coming from the inside. But also currently, I suffer from insomnia, fatigue, and as you said, Farrah, your diet and exercise helps. I do notice that when I am more diligent with my diet and my exercise, drinking my water, it helps.
Yes.
Taking the proper supplements. But again, it goes back to what Tammy, what you were saying, is that you have to talk to your healthcare team, because sometimes there has to be, you know, some testing done, blood workup, things like that, so that they can identify, because everybody is different.
Okay, so let me add to what you're saying, and this is important for the ladies out there to know, and that is because I have a gynecologist, but I also have a doctor that does my hormone replacement. Now, my gynecologist is in disagreement with it. He just thinks that I should not be doing it at all. Okay, but the relief that I have from it is just beautiful. So my symptoms are very minimal, you know, now. So I'm living my life freely. I'm not having the hot flashes and the sweats at night. It's bad now. The brain fog, that's another story. Okay.
Okay. I get it. Let me say something. So as Latoya said, they do push you towards a hysterectomy. That's usually the first thing they do. So I advise you to get, you know, other opinions. Now, me, myself, and I took the hysterectomy because I had a period almost every day for 3 years.
Wow.
It might have went off 2 or 3 days during the month. So I was, I mean, it was really a lot for me. And I was that one that I didn't really want to, you know how you sometimes feel nervous and you don't want to go to the doctor. I knew something was wrong, and my stomach looked like I was about 6 months pregnant. And so with the fibroids and everything and all the blood I lost, I ended up having they were like, we got to do this like next week. And I ended up having 2 blood transfusions, and I'm 36 years old. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not even going to feel like a lady anymore. And, you know, they tell you that, you know, this will throw you into menopause, and I'm 36 years old. Like, why? So my thing that I'm saying is to you all, ladies in the audience, don't wait. When you see or feel, you need to make sure you go to the doctor. And this is the thing. Many of us have insurance, and like you got car insurance, you got health insurance. I don't want my insurance to go up. I don't want what do you have it for? Use it. Use it. Don't make excuses, because you don't know, you're not the doctor. You might know your body, you might feel something, and when you feel something, go find out what is going on. As Black women, sometimes we wait too long, and we talking to everybody else besides the people we need to be talking to. The ones that are trained, the ones that have specialized in these things. Let's not. It's great that we're talking about it, but we need to move forward. Okay, not get caught up in what other people are saying. Because your mama did this don't mean you need to do this.
You need to do it.
Your sister and your cousin, and they're running the family. You still need to go to the doctor and find out what your issue is.
Okay? And Renette, let me add to that. And this is my experience. I went to the doctor. I had an ultrasound. They said they didn't see anything, but I knew something was wrong, so I insisted on them going back in and checking, and what they found was an orange size fibroid. It was large, so that's what prompted me in 2012 to have a hysterectomy myself. So don't give up. If a doctor, you know, if you know your body, you know your body, and you have to be able to say, hey, look, something is wrong. But luckily, they were able to take care of it for me.
And that's because you advocated for yourself. So what she's saying, and what we're all saying, is you need to advocate for yourself. Just because they're the doctor, I mean, that don't mean that's their job. We're not discounting who they are, but
Right.
that's your body.
Yeah.
And so if you feel something that is not right about your body, it's more than one doctor. Go
Exactly.
to another one and another
Exactly.
one until you
Exactly.
feel like, okay, this is what it is. Now I feel better. You know,
Right.
and like Tammy was saying, the HRT doctor, they didn't agree with her gynecologist. And so therefore, you might need to go get you another opinion. Therefore, you might have to make a decision. If you have a husband or somebody, you know, you talk it through with, you know, the doctor, take somebody with you as well to the doctor. So they can hear what you're saying, because you are going through this. And a lot of times as we going through it, we kind of hear what we want to hear, that brain fog. And so that's why you do need to have somebody there with you to advocate. When I went to the doctor and I was going through that, I took my husband with me at all times. So he could be, you know, clear on what was going on. And he advocated for me and with me.
Yeah.
And
So
so
that's
really
important. That is important, Renette.
Very
Because at the time, my husband also went with me. He was there by my side the whole step. Okay.
Mine too.
He even at night when we were in the bed, he was sleeping. He would, you know, reach his hand over. He says, "You're about to have a hot flash." He started feeling that I was about to have, you know, and so it's so important to have someone by your side that's your support. Okay, if you don't have a husband, your daughter, take your daughter with you. You know, your best friend, whomever, just go and have yourself checked out.
Yeah.
And it's a difficult situation. So don't feel like you have to do it by yourself. Like she said, get a friend, get a cousin, get somebody that's going to be that support for you. Because by yourself is really, it's a difficult situation. It's hard. I mean, we were, you know, you used to being able to have a baby and, you know, you have a reproductive system having a period. Now, I could say that was the best thing about a hysterectomy, baby. I hadn't had a period since
I'm jealous. Put that demon to rest, baby. Put that demon down.
Gone.
Renette, I wanted to speak to something that you said about when people say certain things running your family. Well, that running our family, and then unfortunately the vicious cycle is that people don't go get seen because they've just accepted what they've been told that that runs in the family. But that doesn't mean you have to let it wreak havoc in your life. That doesn't mean that you have to sit and settle into that condition and let your body, your mind, your heart, and your spirit deteriorate along with it. You cannot allow these stigmas to take, like I put in the description, you know, the menopause it gives us, we get hot flashes, we get brain fog, we got emotional roller coasters, you know, we got the incontinence, you got to wear pads and Pampers, but you cannot let Mennie take your voice too. She already snatching your memory. You can't let her have your voice too. And although she is not going anywhere, because as Renette said, that heifer lingers around for quite some time. It's different for everybody, but don't let her have your voice. Learn how to fight her back, or you know, learn how to cope and have the support you need through all of these different experiences that we are sharing with you. No, we are not physicians. We are not practitioners. We are grown women who are living real time with this situation. We are growing past the stigma of the things that were not talked about for us. And at this grown, big old age, as Renette said, at our big age, we still have to open up as women and as sisters to support and say, hey, we know it's hard. We've been there. We got you. There has to be some, we have support. If you don't know what to do, just reach out to a provider, a practitioner, some type of program that's going to help you, because suffering along the way is not the way to go. Don't give Mennie all of that power. She's snatching enough as it. Don't give her more
power. I love what Vanita is saying. Important conversation, ladies. We definitely have to advocate for our own health and learn about this temple so we don't overreact to diagnosis and make bad decisions based off what doctors say.
So
Yes,
good.
I love
that's
that,
true.
Anita. That is so
Absolutely.
amazing. Yes,
Thank you.
totally.
They get it wrong too.
Yes.
They can. You
do.
know your body. My mother used to
Yes.
always say, "You have your body with you all day long. If nobody
Day long.
knows what's going on with you, you should
That's
know
true.
You should
what's
know.
going on with you."
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
And speaking to the with finding support systems, right? We talked about one of our first episodes was putting aside the BS, the belief systems.
Yes.
Right.
I can't have friends, I can't have women around me, but you need those people because that's how we find out what's happening, right? You know
Right.
it's your body, but then you have your sister who is going through something different. You're able to share things together.
Correct.
Lifestyle changes. We got to make lifestyle changes, regular exercise, good relationships, stress management. Stress
Yeah.
management is a big thing.
Yes.
Yes.
The
Absolutely.
medical interventions, finding a good doctor. If you don't like one, ask your friends. Who's your gynecologist? Who do you see? And find
Right.
somebody who's good. And then support networks. Get a
Right.
support network. Have
Yeah.
open communication and dialogue about it.
Mhm.
One thing that jumped out to me in these facts is workplace relationships. And working with older women or women who are going through this and they're misunderstood at work.
Yes.
And they're alienated.
Yeah.
There's argument. There's
Yes.
things that happen because I've seen it happen in many of workplaces. I'm like, why is this older person acting like this? And when I read this, I was like, oh my God, this
Mhm.
could be a big part of it. Not to say that it is, but this person could be going through that where they're having
Right.
social, the social skills are gone because they're not communicating effectively, or they don't remember something, and so you
Right.
can't train them the same way you train someone else.
Right.
Right.
So those are some things that it can affect us.
That's
And
true.
the crying spells, my God, Lord. Just
Ooh.
cry at any moment, like Gail said, that breakdown in Home Depot. I mean,
Mhm.
and then you would just be sitting there. I mean, and at this big age, we're already dealing with our grown kids. If you have a spouse, you're dealing with a lot of death, aging parents, all kinds of stuff. And
Yeah.
so you already are emotional. And
Right.
so you might have all these crying spells. You cannot, like she said, Mennie got to sit down. Mennie, you got to sit down. You got to continue to step out there and, like we talked about, live out loud, because you just staying in the house, you continuing to cry, you dealing with life, your children's life, your job, your this, your that, all of the stress, throwing you into depression. Then what are you gonna do? You have to take control of the situation. And that's why we are laying the stigma of many menopause.
Yes.
We laying it to rest because we can't let this take control. It's done it so long. And I know when I was a child, well, as I was growing up, I would say in my early 20s or whatever. And, my mom she was mean. And Carolyn, she was alive. But then she turned into Carol mean. Okay, because I was like, who is this? I mean, I was like, who is this woman? Who the hell? Who is this? And I heard her on the phone, like, whoa, the change. What is that? And I'm 20-something years old. I don't know what a change is.
What the change
it was
is.
never explained. And that's the thing that we have to start doing is opening our mouths and telling our girls about this. Telling our, children, talking to our friends, like, well, how are you dealing with that? And, because everybody seems maybe so happy and they hanging out, and then they are exercising and doing stuff, and you moving like you 79 years old because you ain't exercising and doing the things you need to do, and you wondering, well, why they doing this and why they look like that? Because they're taking control and not allowing Mennie too much on their life. To take away their joy and their happiness. So we've got to do something. And just because you going through that and, stuff start to happen, maybe stuff start to sag and, looking kind of.
Go get some spanks. Thanks.
Okay, so when this happened, as y'all started, dealing with this situation, did you start to feel old? Did you do extra stuff to make yourself look like really younger? Yes, I'm drinking celery juice. So yes,
Go ahead, Benita.
Benita.
That's
Benita
hilarious.
play too much. Benita, you play too much, girl.
Listen, she been in that gym. Benita been in that gym.
Down in the corner.
Yep.
Benita.
You know, ladies, I was just reading.
Juice. It's so
I was
good.
just reading some more statistics just now, because speaking about the emotional aspect that it plays a toll on us, not only are we going through, loss of parents and children leaving the house, but also there's a good high rate of divorce rates based off of menopause.
Yes.
Wow.
They say 7 in 10 women who divorce blame it on menopause symptoms.
That's
It's
serious.
not wild.
That is
Because
serious.
making an emotional decision for a temporary situation, right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Say that.
Absolutely.
It may be from a lack of knowledge or lack of education. So I also encourage you, like the men that are watching, educate yourselves on menopause so that you know what your partner or significant other is going through, because
Yeah.
it's
Right.
it's teamwork that's needed to get through it. It doesn't last, forever. It can
Yeah.
last for a long time, but if you
Long
guys
time.
have communication and kind of talking through, what, how that's impacting, your lives, your relationship, I mean, that could
Right.
just, can make it better. So think about the communication and, talk through, how many may be, impacting your lives.
Mhm.
Even
And
if
I want
Yeah,
I
because
want to say this too.
therapist.
Yeah. I want to say this too, because we talk about that thing that they say, the change, right? But I think that we have to realize is that as married couples and as people, period, we change, we evolve. We're
Yes.
supposed to evolve.
Absolutely.
We get married at 17. We're not the same 17-year-old when we're 51 years old.
Exactly.
So change is inevitable.
Right.
Husbands who are
Right.
watching, wives who are, change is inevitable. So it's not just about the menopause. You should be changing as a person.
Yes.
As a person,
You should
yes.
be elevating and changing and transforming.
Yes. I agree.
And
I
so
agree.
those are some of the things to think about. I shared the video with my sisters yesterday. It was a guy, a YouTube channel that I came across. And I mean, Gail, do you want to speak? I'll let you and Toya touch on this, because when I heard some of the things he was saying, first of all, it sounds so serious when he started talking, right? He said, "Oh, somebody got into my relationship." So I'm like, did the woman cheat? And no, he said the person that got into that relationship was menopause. So Gail, I wish you to speak on this.
Yeah. Mennie is something else, and I'll tell you, she is no respecter of persons or situations or relationships.
Yep.
And you have to really know your partner, or your partner have to really care enough to try to figure out and have the ability and the desire to work with you and to try to understand when you don't understand.
Exactly.
Because it is something for them to take on, to understand us when we don't understand ourselves, and also to have the capacity to grow with you through this part of your journey and relationship. And I will tell you, when that on that video, and he was just like, this creature just came. When he said creature, it resonated with me, because I'm telling you, I remember a time where, at the time my husband and both my kids were home, and I was in my bedroom and everybody was coming in there, and I just bit all of their heads off, and they all just kind of looked at each other, and they just started walking backwards out the room. Nobody said nothing. They just started backing out, and they closed the door, and it was well with my soul. I was glad that they did that. But at the same time, I was trying to figure out, why was I so upset? So, having a partner that is going to dive in with you when you don't have the capacity to even understand or fight back fair, because when you're trying to fight for your marriage or fighting the marriage, that's two different things. There's two different things. So when you're going through menopause, you may not have the capacity to fight fair for your marriage or for yourself or for your voice. And that's when the support from your partner comes in, where you all try to find a midpoint or tools to use to communicate with each other, because the two are struggling. The female is struggling to understand what's happening with her, And the male, the husband or the partner, whoever that is struggling to understand what is wrong with you.
Yeah.
So it's a combination,
Right.
of working together and finding the tools together to work that out. And I'll be so transparent right now for the women that are on here, because a lot of us get ashamed of when our marriages and stuff fall apart. But on top of depression and anxiety and menopause all at the same time, my entire marriage fell apart right in front of my face. And when I told my husband at the time, I was like, my mama is dead. I don't care. And that was my last statement. I didn't care. I didn't fight. I didn't know how to fight. I didn't have the capacity to fight. And Mennie kept me with an attitude. Did not care or have the capacity to care at all about it. So, when you have partners in your life,
you just don't care when you get to a certain space and place. And I thought I was menopause free, like I said, until death hit in my family. And once it hit, when I lost my grandson and my daddy, I didn't care about nothing. I didn't care about a bill. I didn't care about a job. I didn't have one anyways, but I didn't care about working or how anything was going to get done.
Right.
All I wanted to do was stay at the graveyard. And I became so irritable and so mean. And when this happens, like the video, your husband, your significant other, they are blindsided. Like, they thinking that, oh, she just really, she going through this death. This is just a lot. She overwhelmed, and they thinking it's just the death, but then it just keeps going and going. And this is like years later. And sometimes it takes a long time to get over death, but it's not just the death.
Yeah,
it's menopause along with the death, along with the stress, along with the other things. And so if you see men on here that are watching and you're experiencing this from your significant other or your wife, you may want to have a talk with her, honey. I heard this thing, or what's going on? And be transparent that you heard it's going on. You kind of feel this is happening. Sometimes as women going through this, we don't have the capacity to talk about it. We can't even control or put into words what to say, how to say. All you know is you crying, you mad, you leave, you wake up with a bad attitude for no reason. And I mean, you already may not have gotten the sleep you needed, because there's so many different things that come with this. And so we felt it's so important that we bring this topic to light, because a lot of people brush over it. They don't talk about it, and they go through all of this. And like Gail said, her marriage fell apart right in front of her eyes. And how many people has that happened to? The video that we were listening to, that man was blown.
He was. He was.
And like you said, this creature.
He called it a creature.
It
was crazy. It was crazy.
Hearing my husband, just say, I don't know who this person is. She's not the same person. And then you just not backing down, right? Like, one trigger comes up, just one word is said and you're triggered, and you're like, and it's a battle. And that person not being sensitive to what you're dealing with, because they just don't know, and maybe they don't want to know. I don't know, but it really, as I said, let me look at the statistics and see, how many, people divorce based off of that. And it's a large percentage.
Right.
And I'm happy that we're sharing what the challenges are in relationships, because I know that I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago that I was going to change, my husband and his health concerns and things like that. And you put those two together. And it's like you feel like there's no resolve. So it's a journey. It really is a journey. I really encourage, ladies who are listening and men who are listening to come together and have those big girl and big boy talks, like the guy said on the video. He said that his wife was a vampire. He said, I think that she hates me.
I said that. Farrah, I want to say that you brought up something that was really important too, at the workplace. A lot of times people are going through things, but they don't feel comfortable enough to tell their boss. And sometimes people take it out on you and not care. what you going through. I know when I was going through my situation, first of all, because I was, this is this is a lot. This was what it was, a tampon and a pad. And going through these every hour, I'm sick as a dog, stomach hurt, rocking back and forth. I could only wear jeans and t-shirts to work. And I'm an administrator. I'm in a professional job, and I just had to go break it down to my principal what it was. This is what is going on with me, and I'm sorry. And he was so understanding, and he never even because I was out a lot. And then when I came to work, I just wanted to sit in my office, and I used to rock back and forth, and close my door and cry because I was struggling so much. And so if you are at the workplace and you going through these things, first of all, go get you some help, go get you some support, whatever therapy, the pellets, the hormone, whatever it is you need to get. Get that help. Don't lose your job. I mean, that's a statistic to look up. How many people probably lost their job because they were acting crazy because of menopause?
Right.
And so we need to really think about that thing. If you're going through that and you acting crazy at the job and cussing people out and doing stuff you shouldn't be doing, now your boss should kind of know, well, something is wrong. That's not usually how they act. But a lot of times they're not going to come and question you. You got to open up your mouth and advocate for yourself. Like Gail said, don't let Mennie steal your voice. Don't let Mennie steal your money, baby. You know you need that.
Okay.
So we got to shut Mennie down, baby. We can't allow this to take over our lives. And that's what a lot of us have done. And because, I mean, like I said, me having a hysterectomy so early, I felt like I was friend. I'm looking at all my friends sweating and dripping, and I'm around here with the heat, and I'm like, oh, child, what the heck? Oh, God, thank God I don't have that. But yet and still, the irritability and the, the incontinence and the other things, I was like, because I didn't even try to think about menopause, didn't read up on it, because all we hear about is the hot flashes. So, I wasn't thinking about the irritability and all this crying that I was doing and the incontinence. I was like, oh, God, this sneezing. And I don't understand why every time I sneeze, it was a lot. But then as I started I was listening to something on the radio, and I was like, dog, I am irritable. Ooh, I do have incontinence. Oh, my goodness. So that's when I found, and I'm talking about, this was like last year that I finally recognized and realized. I thought I had escaped all of the things that happen to people, and I'm looking at y'all like, because all of y'all be like this, and y'all know I'm the one with the heater all the time. So I'm looking at y'all like, what they got going on? I don't need that, but I needed something, and I realized that I got some issues too.
So I was reading, Riri, I just saw 1 in 10 women have quit their jobs, and an estimated 14 million working days each year lost due to menopause symptoms.
Wow.
That's real.
It's huge. And it says here, at the same time, 9 out of 10 menopausal women say their symptoms impact their work, in particular brain fog, tiredness, and lack of energy, and a loss of confidence.
Yeah, I know it definitely impacts me from the fatigue perspective, because, I don't sleep much. Some nights I may only get 4 hours of sleep. Some nights it feel like it's restful. Some nights not so much. I'm most productive in the mornings, and Renette can attest to this, because I'm like, okay, after a certain time, I'm done.
She passed her bedtime right now.
She passed her bedtime.
That's my bedtime right now. But I'm the most sharp in the morning. So if I have meetings or things like that I need to do, I want to do it in the morning, because if I have a late meeting, I'm struggling when it comes to brain fog. And like I said earlier, I used to pride myself in having a good memory. Now I document everything, because I need to go back and reflect on the notes, because hell, I can't remember. This was just yesterday, or maybe even 5 minutes ago. And I really have to document so that I can stay on top of things, because I will forget. And I struggle with that, because again, when you have a good memory, you're like, oh yeah, I remember, this from, when I was 2 or whatever, but now I can't even remember something from yesterday or last week. So I have
what about the last minute? Get in the room and be like, what did I
Yes.
What am I looking for?
Yeah.
And then that fatigue, girl, I would sit down on a sofa and before I know it, I am asleep. I could be anywhere. My friends are normally taking.
Y'all play too much. Y'all play too much.
Y'all stop playing with me.
Oh my God.
Oh, we got some celery in there. We got some
Right,
Stop
You know
it.
what? I want to ask
Stop
Gail this
it.
question. So, Gail, why is she a she? Why is Mennie a she? What is it with Mennie that we say she's a she?
Because because the heifer know where to go and what to snatch. See, she go and get all the stuff. It can't be a man because that'd be considered some type of abuse of battery. But see, this heifer come along and she snatched everything. You understand?
Everything.
Think of her.
When I tell you about the hot flashes, she too damn hot. When you talk about the incontinence, she disrespectful. The bladder let go and let loose, get down, get funky, get loose whenever she want to. You have got to be careful with this heifer because I'm telling you, she has no respecter of time, places, or persons. And you know, I wanted to make a correction on, you know, what I said when I was going through multiple things along with menopause and I watched my marriage fall apart. And I know women carry the weight of things that don't belong to us. And I don't want you all to think that because you're going through these changes that you have to carry the weight of things that don't go well in your marriage and in your relationships.
Right.
I don't want you to carry that weight. What I'm telling you is along with lifing us, every single day, we have got to find the tools to life back. And if your marriage is worth you doing the fair fight for and not fighting the marriage, because of course there was multiple things that was going on. It wasn't just my menopause, it was some other stuff going on too. But you know, I know what my part was, because I know I got to the point where I didn't even care. I did not care. So what I want women to understand is that because we go through this change and it's hard for us to have the capacity to fight for ourselves, at least find your voice so that you can ask for the help you need. Seek the help that you need and get around a community of women that will fight for you, that will help you find your way, find your voice, find the help and support you through it, because it all does not rest on you. Get some of that weight off your shoulders, because half of them bags you carrying don't belong to you. And with Mennie on your back, that heifer weigh about 57, 75, 80 pounds. You don't need nothing else on your shoulders.
Absolutely. Listen, Farrah and I learned something this, I think it was in February or March. Do I only... I'm ignoring y'all. Add some water and some lemon juice and some vinegar.
And a little vodka.
That's gonna help you keep.
That's the secret sauce.
The secret sauce is the vodka, y'all.
Renee, she's on you, girl. She's got you.
Farrah, do you remember about the hot tongue? See, this is another thing Mennie will steal from you. It's called hot tongue, and it's associated with menopause. And what that is, have y'all heard of hot tongue before?
Hold on, let me pull it up.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. Hot tongue is described as tingling, scalding, numbness, or burning sensation that you have during menopause. It also may include a dry mouth, bitter or metallic taste, and a loss of taste. That's another thing many do to women. So if you've been having some tingling in your tongue and your tongue feeling hot, not from no hot sauce, not because it's spicy, it's because of Mennie. Mennie.
Yes. And you know, and now that you say that, Renee, you know, I work in dentistry and I do have a lot of people that call me and ask us about that. And we, you know, it's something that comes and it goes. You know, some people never lose it. And I don't believe that there is a cure for it.
No.
To call it off.
I get that sometimes. Yeah. I understand that. Yes.
That's so serious. Lord, I'm glad I could say I've been, you know, pretty blessed through this situation. Because I haven't dealt with the hot flashes, but the incontinence is more than enough. Oh Lord, Jesus! Like,
you know,
you gotta have your
every time. why don't every time we get home, we come out the car and we gotta pee? And I'm kicking everybody getting that door. Get out my way.
When you touch the doorknob, when you touch the doorknob, they have to let you. You could drive home for 30 minutes, don't have a tinkle or nothing going on. But you get out that car, touch that doorknob, baby, Niagara, that she coming.
Yes.
She coming.
I can't stand her.
I'm telling you, I'm ready to bury it.
I just want to slap her. Yeah, we're gonna put this thing to rest. We gonna enjoy our time. We're not gonna let Mennie take over anymore. Y'all have allowed her to take over. That heifer better sit down and shut up. Okay.
Please.
Absolutely. I think we should put the stigma to rest.
Yes.
We are not going to let it run our lives. We're not going to let it take our voices. So I want to ask that everyone that is on here, everyone that has heard this conversation and it has resonated with you, we are going to lay the stigma to rest, and don't hold back your tears, okay? Because I'm getting choked up. Don't hold back your tears, because we're gonna lay it down, and we're gonna lay it down tonight. The stigma exists no more. Let's bury it tonight.
Listen,
is there an insurance policy? Is there an insurance policy attached to this lady?
She been, and she ain't have no insurance. She want GoFundMe.
Oh my God! I cannot.
We ain't doing that. No,
we ain't got no insurance. Get on my nerves.
If y'all have enjoyed this, y'all go ahead and share this out. Y'all tell people about the Spicy Season Sisters, baby, because y'all, we got some great things coming y'all way. OMG. We can't talk about it yet, but we're gonna be talking about it. Y'all show up every Thursday. We are here at 8:30 p.m. Press the love button, and we know that you should love it because it's been a good conversation and a much needed conversation. But we get ready to lay Mennie down, baby. Mennie,
we are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. Take care of yourself,
y'all.